And thanks for joining Ogun State Television News at 8. I am Adibola Oshomoji. First, the highlight. President Bola Tinubu hails Nigerian Stock Exchange 100 trillion naira market capitalization. Federal government introduces reusable textbook policy, targets 6-year lifespan. Ogun State government donate 2.5 million naira to mother of newly born triplet. And on the foreign scene, Russia hit Ukraine with rarely used ballistic missiles in fresh strikes.
And on business news, Dangote refinery marketers feel deal crushes as imports surge. I bring you details of this and others on the business segment of the news. I am Olayemi Takuro. Stay with us.
And on sport news tonight, Senegal beat Mali to reach 2025 AFCON semi-finals. This and more much later on the news. I am Moses Ojewumi. Stay with us.
The time is always right to do what is right. And don't forget that you can watch us live on our website, www.ogtv.com.ng/live. For the latest news and reports, you can check us on these platforms: X at Ogtv, Facebook, Ogun State Television, YouTube at Ogtv Abeokuta, TikTok at Ogun State Television. And now to the news. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has hailed the Nigerian exchange for crossing the historic 100 trillion naira market capitalization threshold, describing the milestone as a defining signal of renewed investor confidence and a rebounding Nigerian economy. In a statement marking the achievement, the president said the record valuation reflects the early dividends of his administration's economic reforms, and called on Nigerians to deepen their participation in the domestic capital market, stressing that stronger returns lie ahead as the reforms gain further traction in 2026. The president noted that the NGX All-Share Index closed 2025 with a return of 51.19%, up from 37.65% in 2024, placing Nigeria among the best performing equity markets globally. The performance, is said, outpaced major global indices such as the S&P 500 and FTSE 100, as well as several emerging market peers. He attributed the rally to improved corporate earnings, a growing pipeline of new listings across strategic sectors including energy, telecommunications, technology, and infrastructure, as well as improving macroeconomic indicators such as easing inflation, stabilizing naira, rising foreign reserves, and expanding export. Here in Ogun State, the Ogun State government has demonstrated compassion and support for maternal and child welfare as Governor Dapo Abiodun donates the sum of 2.5 million naira to a mother of newly born triplets in the state. The donation was made to Mrs. Omobolanle Shuaib, a 2-year-old woman who gave birth to triplet boys on January 2nd at the Muhammadu Buhari Mother-Child Healthcare in Ikperu Remo in Ikene local government area. Governor Abiodun, while presenting the check to the mother at the hospital premises, says the gesture was aimed at supporting the family and easing the burden of caring for the newborns. Governor's Office correspondent Yusuf Ganeyo reports.
In fulfillment of its mandate to protect the welfare of women and children, the Ogun State Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development visits the General Hospital Ikperu Remo to identify with Mrs. Omobolanle Shuaib, whose husband reportedly absconds shortly after she delivers triplet boys on the 2nd of January. Governor Dakwabo, represented by the State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Honorable Adijat Adeleye, explained that the intervention is part of the state government's social support programs designed to assist vulnerable residents and encourage safe childbirth among women in the state. While commending the hospital management for professionalism and quality service delivery, the governor assured the family that all outstanding medical bills will be settled.
But we are here today in Ikperu to celebrate with the woman, to provide intervention that we have been mandated by the governor to do. The governor insisted that we have to be here today. And the governor has said, which I have relayed to her, that anything medical, anything about the bills in the hospital, she should forget about it. The government is picking it up. Not just that, we have handed over the cash of 2.5 million to Mrs. Tribe.
It further pledged financial empowerment for the mother to strengthen her business and enable her to adequately care for the children. Governor Abiodun noted that the support is a continuation of similar interventions extended to women across Ogun State, stressing that women empowerment remains a priority of his administration. He has that several empowerment and development programs are already lined up for women in the new year in recognition of their crucial role in governance and societal development.
On interrogation, she said she used to hawk beans. But there's no way she will be hawking beans and taking care of. She had 2 boys previously. Now she has 3, making 5. So there's no way we will leave her to continue hawking. We are going to make sure that she has something that is sustainable that she will be doing. Something that will give her enough time to tend to the welfare and the well-being of our children. Because the welfare, the well-being of every children in Ogun State means so much to His Excellency. And that mandate he has given to the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development to protect. So these children are our children. We are going to walk the journey with Mrs. Tribe. We are going to be with her all through the journey until she finds her feet steadily on the ground.
Responding, Mrs. Omobolale Shuaib, who hails from Ishara in Remo North local government area, expresses heartfelt appreciation to the governor for what she describes as timely and life-changing intervention.
Inú mi dùn gidi gan torí mo wá gbọ́ Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún bọ̀ mi rí wọn rí débi tí màá sọ pé kíní mi tiẹ̀ lérò pé mo ti lè rí orí ọ̀fẹ́ láti ọ̀dọ̀ Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún àti ìyàwó wọn olórí wọn. Inú mi dùn gidi gan, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn.
The gynecologist who delivered the babies, Dr. Taiwo, gives a brief medical account of the delivery, describing the condition of the mother and the newborns as stable.
And she was 7 months pregnant when she came. So they referred to us because it was more than what they could care for. The woman requires expert care. So from where we started caring for her. We are seeing her every week, hoping to deliver her by cesarean section at a fixed date. We already fixed the date. 3 weeks after, about 31 weeks and 5 days, she came in with labor pains, and she had drained or she had seen water. Within few minutes getting to the hospital, she started bleeding heavily. So we knew that most likely the placenta had sheared off, and the babies were at risk. So the team was on ground. The nurses were on ground. Everybody, it was the whole team, the full team was on ground. It was in the middle of the night. We were able to resuscitate her, and immediately we commenced the emergency cesarean section. The babies came out not too good initially, but with our expertise and with our effort, we were able to resuscitate, and with God, we were able to resuscitate and bring the 3 babies back to life.
Earlier, the wife of the governor, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, visited the hospital to felicitate with the mother and welcome the triplets. Yusuf Ganiyu, Ogtv News.
As part of efforts to improve child health outcomes and sustain disease prevention across Ogun State, the state is 69% ready for the execution of the measles vaccination campaign across the state. This was the crux of the stakeholders engagement meeting with development partners and health experts across the state. With the wife of the state governor, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, our reporter, Margaret Okunlola, reports.
Following several medical activities toward the measles rubella vaccination campaign across the state, this is the stakeholders meeting with development partners and health experts with the wife of Ogun State Governor, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, Executive Secretary, Ogun State Primary Health Care Development Board, Dr. Elijah Ogunshola, while giving the analysis, says the state is 69% ready for the campaign exercise.
We reduce deaths, we reduce heartbreak, and we support the elimination of measles and rubella in Nigeria. I want to use this point to thank our daddy. He has really been very supportive. We have a DNA and lights there have been 24/7. Each strategic location, mental parks, daycare, schools, and we're also going to be in all our primary health care centers. Across the Federation, we are one of our excellency that is supporting nutrition rigorously.
With various representatives from World Health Organization, United Nations Children Fund, African Field Epidemiology Network, International Vaccine Access Center, among other development partners, all led to the stakeholders meeting by the Ogun State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Tomi Koka.
It's for children between 9 months and 14 years of age. We're encouraging parents, guardians to bring their wards out to ensure they get vaccinated. This is to prevent debilitating diseases. Prevention is better than cure.
Wife of Ogun State Governor, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, commends the team for its passion and dedication.
It's a good thing that we're starting off at the beginning of the year with this kind of energy and motivation. I'm happy to be a part of this campaign, to be a part of the flag off again of the campaign, and I will also include the wives of the local government chairmen, our women leaders who are eager to, work with our children, and also our market women too, because I think it's important that the women in the market space too are also covered.
The campaign, when it starts, will be held in various public places across local governments in the state, including parks, schools, and primary health care centers, among others. Margaret Okunlola, Ogtv News.
A significant step towards improving public health has been taken in Egbaland as a free medical outreach organized in collaboration with Shodeke Dynasty provided much-needed healthcare services to residents. The outreach, which focused on eye care, surgical consultations, and other medical needs, was aimed at easing the burden of healthcare costs while boosting confidence in accessible medical services for the people. Ademola Adeniji was present at the outreach, which residents described as timely and unforgettable. Details are in this package.
In a move to strengthen healthcare delivery in Egbaland, the Shodeke Medical Outreach held at Obare Mugbadebo's Palace brought relief to hundreds of residents. The initiative was described as a clear demonstration of responsive support and a renewed commitment to improving the well-being of vulnerable members of the community. Speaking at the event, Pastor Tunde Bakari says the outreach was organized as a way of giving back to the people, safeguarding their health and ensuring access to essential medical services, while also inspecting ongoing activities during the outreach.
It wasn't really tears of joy, it was tears of pain. Looking at many people that are helpless. But whatever we need to do to ensure that there's widespread joy in our country, in our cities, in our communities, those who have must learn to plow back so that we do not leave government alone to it. That's all.
Medical expert and organizer explained that the outreach represents a transformative effort towards improving healthcare delivery, noting that over 800 beneficiaries are being attended to daily.
Well, this is a free healthcare outreach, and we've been here for the past 4 days actually. We started the work on Monday and we'll be concluding tomorrow. It's a free healthcare outreach in honor of Pastor Tunde Bakari and sponsored by a few partners.
And you can see for yourself surgeries that were done, both eye, dental surgeries, fibroid, all manners of things. And the joy is seeing people happy, seeing people smiling. Each day we are attended to not less than 800 people every day, and that is huge.
Beneficiaries at the outreach expressed gratitude for the free medical services, describing the intervention as life-changing and long overdue.
I'm doing a very nice job. If the others can key into this field, I think it would have been a better place to, the healthcare would have improved.
The initiative, organizers say, is part of ongoing efforts to uplift the health and well-being of residents through regular medical checkups and sustained healthcare support.
The federal government has unveiled a comprehensive policy framework aimed at reducing the cost of education for parents, improving learning outcomes, and promoting sustainability in schools through the adoption of reusable, high-quality textbooks and strengthened quality assurance mechanisms. Director of Press and Public Relations, Federal Ministry of Education, Folashade Boriowo, in a statement in Abuja said the policy was jointly issued by the Minister of Education, Dr. Maruf Tonji Alausa, and the Minister of State for Education, Professor Suwaib Basa Aid. She added that the new policy forms part of ongoing reforms to reposition Nigeria's education sector and ease the financial burden on families. The ministers explained that the policy prioritizes the use of standardized, durable textbooks designed to last between 4 and 6 years, while expressly prohibiting the bundling of disposable workbooks with textbooks in schools. According to them, the initiative will allow siblings to share textbooks, significantly reduce recurring education costs for parents, and minimize waste within the school system, thereby supporting environmental sustainability. As part of broader sector reforms, they noted that the federal government has introduced a uniform academic calendar to promote constituency in teaching, learning, and school planning across the country. The education ministers also announced the streamlining of graduation ceremonies to curb unnecessary financial pressure on parents. Still ahead, INEC chairman promises historic turnaround in Nigeria's election. More news and reports after the break. Glad to have you on the second segment of the news. In case you just joined us, you are watching Ogtv News at 8. The Ogun State government joined the rest of the nation in commemorating the 2026 Armed Forces Remembrance Day with a special Jamaat service organized to honor fallen heroes who paid the supreme price in defense of Nigeria's unity and sovereignty. The solemn prayer session took place at the Central Mosque, Kobiti, Abeokuta, with the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Engineer Noimot Salako Oyedele, leading other top government functionaries, security chiefs, Islamic clerics, and Muslim faithful. Olaide Oloye completes the report.
The Armed Forces Remembrance Day remained a solemn national occasion, set aside to honor the bravery, sacrifice, and patriotism of men and women of the Nigerian Armed Forces who laid down their lives in defense of the nation's unity, peace, and territorial integrity. In line with its noble essence, the Ogun State government held a special Jamaat service as part of activities marking the 2026 Armed Forces Remembrance Day, offering prayers for fallen heroes and seeking divine guidance and protection for serving security personnel. The special prayer session had in attendance top government officials led by the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Engineer Noimot Salako Oyedele, military and paramilitary commandants, religious leaders, and Muslim faithful. In his sermon, the Mufasiru of Egbaland highlighted the significance of the occasion as a moment of deep reflection, gratitude, and national consciousness. He describes the fallen heroes as selfless patriots whose sacrifices laid the foundation for the peace and freedom enjoyed today.
Everybody to be stand on his way of his religion and have good faith in Allah and good faith in his country. Everybody should be obedient to the government.
Earlier, special prayers were offered for the repose of the souls of departed officers and soldiers, as well as for the safety, courage, and success of those currently serving on the front lines of national security. Prayers were also said for peace, stability, and economic progress in Ogun State and the nation at large. Governor Dapo Abiodun, represented by the Deputy Governor, Engineer Noimot Salako-Yedele, reiterated the commitment of the Ogun State government to the welfare of serving and retired military personnel, as well as the families of the fallen heroes.
In Ogun State, we remain committed to supporting the welfare and dignity of the families of our fallen heroes. And I commend the Nigerian Legion for its dedication to preserving the memory of our fallen heroes. This gathering also calls for us to renew our commitment to unity.
Top government officials, royal fathers, and military personnel present also acknowledges the sacrifices of the armed forces, assuring that their efforts would never be forgotten, and describing them as a bedrock of Nigerians' freedom and stability.
It is good for any nation to have patriotic citizens who are ready to stand up for their country.
We should just not remember the day alone. We should also make it a practice. Let it be an act for us to keep remembering these people.
For the widows and our dependents, I think within the capacity of the economy, we are still managing. But a lot still needs to be done financially in terms of welfare.
The special Jumet service formed part of a series of religious and ceremonial activities lined up by the Ogun State government to commemorate the 2026 Armed Forces Remembrance Day, a yearly reminder of the pride paid for Nigerians' unity and continued assistance. Olaide Oloye, Ogtv News.
Meanwhile, activities marking this year's Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebrations in Ogun State will continue with a special church service to mark the celebration on Sunday, 11th January 2026. Venue is the Cathedral of St. Peter, Ake Abeokuta, beginning at 10 in the morning. A statement by the Secretary to the State Government, Mr. Tokumbo Talabi, revealed that the celebrations will be rounded off with a grand finale on Thursday, January 15, 2026, with a special parade and laying of wreath at the Arcade Ground, Governor's Office, Okemoson, Abeokuta, at 10 in the morning. The statement further urged all invited guests to be seated 30 minutes before the commencement of each program. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Joash Amokwito, has vowed that the Commission will deliver a historic turnaround in Nigeria's electoral process. According to him, the 2027 general election must mark a decisive break from past shortcomings. Amokwito made the pledge in Lagos while delivering his opening address at the 2026 induction and strategic retreat for newly appointed national commissioners and resident electoral commissioners. Describing INEC officials as custodians of the will of the Nigerian people, the chairman said the commission had begun early preparations to ensure that the next general election is free from interference, credible, transparent, and inclusive. The INEC boss, who assumed office in October 2025, said internal discipline, institutional coercion, and early planning would be critical to restoring public confidence in the electoral process. He warned that any compromise of INEC's values or procedures would attract consequences. While identifying 2027 as the Commission's ultimate destination, Amokwito noted that INEC would first be tested by a series of elections, beginning with the Federal Capital Territory FCT area council elections scheduled for February 2026, followed by the off-cycle governorship polls in Ekiti and Osun State. The Ota-Awori extraction of the Ado-Duota Federal Constituency in Ogun State has called for fairness in the rotation of the House of Representatives seat ahead of the 2027 general elections. The call is contained in a communique issued after the enlarged meeting in Ota, where the group appealed to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Governor Dapo Abiodun, and leaders of the All Progressives Congress, APC, at the state and national levels to consider their request, citing the area's political and electoral significance within the constituency. Details of the meeting are captured in this report.
The Ota-Awori extraction of the Ado-Duota Federal Constituency in Ogun State is calling for fairness and justice in the rotation of the House of Representatives seat ahead of the 2027 general elections. At an enlarged meeting held at Ijamido Hall in Ota, leaders of the Ota-Awori youth movement say the area has remained politically marginalized despite its economic strength and strategic importance in determining electoral outcomes within the constituency.
Call to action, we call on all stakeholders, including community leaders, traditional rulers, and well-meaning citizens to join us in this fight for fairness and justice. Together, we can restore hope and development to our constituency.
Has been a shift between Yewa and Awori. It is.
The group appeals to President Bola Tinubu, Governor Dapo Abiodun, and leaders of the All Progressives Congress at both state and national levels to intervene and ensure equitable representation in the 2027 general elections.
Whatever they have spoken, their decision to move the House of Representatives to Ado-Duota Federal Constituency 1, that is the Ota State Constituency, is in order.
They also reaffirmed their loyalty to President Bola Tinubu, Governor Dapo Abiodun, and the leadership of the All Progressives Congress, expressing confidence that their long-standing demand for fairness and inclusion will receive prompt attention.
60th birthday ceremony has been held in Abeokuta for Engineer Noimot Salako Oyedele, the Deputy Governor of Ogun State. The Grand Mufti Emirate of Ilorin, Sheikh Dr. Suleiman Farouk Onikijikpa, in his sermon, stressed that good parenthood is key to a productive society. Fowora Adesanwo report that the Deputy Governors of Lagos and Ekiti State were in Abeokuta for the event.
Engineer Noimot Salako Oyedele, the Ogun State Deputy Governor, is 60 in grand style. Every strata of the society came around to celebrate a woman described as a combination of brilliance, selflessness, and faith. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo and other prominent politicians, women professionals, and Islamic religious leaders from Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Ondo, Ekiti, Delta, Edo, and Kwara also registered their presence. The traditional ruler, including the Alake and paramount ruler of Egbaland, Oba Adedotu Aremu Gbadibo, and Akarigbo and paramount ruler of Femoland, and other traditional rulers were also seated to honor the Ogun State indefatigable and amazing deputy governor.
Governance in Nigeria is not easy. The president of America said, the man in the arena, he said, it is easy to criticize. It is easy to say, oh, it can be like this. When you are there, but then say, oh,
Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, Speaker, Lagos State House of Assembly, and his Ogun State counterpart, Right Honorable Dudaisi Elemide, the Chief Judge of Ogun State, Honorable Justice Mosumola Dikweolu, and the Secretary to the Ogun State Government, Tokunbo Talabi, were also in attendance. In his sermon, Mufti of Ilorin, Sheikh Sulaiman Onikijikpa, told parents to train their children, whether boys or girls, for intense care in their old age. Sheikh Onikijikpa described Engineer Noimot Salako Oyedele as humble, brilliant, and a team player. This was also the take of the wife of the Ogun State Governor, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun disclosed that the celebrant was a childhood friend who, while growing up, attended this same Quranic school with her. According to the wife of the governor, Rotimi, as engineer Noimot Salakoidele was called in the formative days, was brilliant, full of life and energy.
My darling sister Rotimi, happy birthday. I am so happy for you. I'm so happy for how far you have come. I'm happy and I know how far you go by the grace of God.
Obadewale Ajayi, a colleague of the deputy governor at the period, speaks.
Deputy governor and I, we go back a long way, and I'm so happy to see her progress. All we can continue to do is pray for her. Fantastic human being, very brilliant, articulate.
The Alaki and Pramantula of Egbalandoba Adedotun Aremu Gbadebo described Engineer Noimot Salakoidele as cerebral, well-groomed and well-behaved. Our colleagues in the cabinet eulogized her as a team player.
And assisted by she has been a wonderful pillar in this administration. She's giving all her support, morally, spiritually, to His Excellency. They have the joint tickets, and she has really proved that she's Omoluabi to the core.
The deputy governor is a forward-thinking female leader, and she's a very intelligent lady, full of wisdom and very calm. And for us female commissioners, she's been an amazing leader and very motherly.
She combines intelligence with good manners, and I think those are very good rare combinations that can take somebody far.
Her spouse, Dr. Bodu Idele, says she is an amazing wife. The Deputy Governor, Engineer Noimot Salakoidele, showed appreciation to the people and prayed to continue to dedicate her life to the service of God and humanity.
Bí àwọn tó dẹ̀ ṣe wá síbẹ̀ ṣe ti sọ, ọjọ́ tí èèyàn tún gbọ́dọ̀ máa ronú kó tún ní àròjinlẹ̀ ni. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run tí ó ṣọ́ mi di èmi tí èmi náà pé ọmọ 100 ọdún. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run tí ó ṣẹ̀dá mi. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ìyá mi àti bàbá mi tó jẹ́ pé ọ̀dọ̀ wọn ni mo tọ̀ wá sí ilé ayé. Mo dúpẹ́ tí Ọlọ́run tó jẹ́ pé àwọn àbúrò tó dà bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Ọlọ́run fún mi. Àwọn ọmọ mi, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn. Baálé mi, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹbí àti ará tí a ti jọ ń ṣe papọ̀.
Prayers were said for the celebrant, her family, Ogun State, and Nigeria by clerics from all the 4 divisions of Yewa, Egba, Remo, and Ijebu.
15, 16.
Adefowura Adesanwo, Ogtv News.
The Ogun State Council of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, NUJ, has held its first monthly media party of the year with the Managing Director of the Ogun State Waste Management Authority, Mr. Abayomi Unye, as guest. The party provided an opportunity for Mr. Unye to address allegations leveled against him, while also highlighting the achievement and reforms recorded by Ogwama under his leadership. Adedamola Adeniji was at Iweroyin, the venue of their engagement, and now reports.
Journalists remain the watchdogs of society, entrusted with the responsibility of holding power accountable and giving voice to the people. The monthly media party of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, Ogun State Council, first under the Wale Olariwaju-led executive this year, provided a vital platform for open engagement between government officials, stakeholders, and the press, fostering transparency, mutual understanding, and trust. Following a staged protest recently over alleged wrongdoing by the management of the Ogun State Waste Management Authority, Ogwama, its managing director deemed it necessary to address members of the Fourth Estate and clarify the issues.
It is very sacrosanct because of the health condition of our people, because wastes that are not properly managed and snowball into health crisis. These are cholera and waste-associated diseases.
Honorable Abayomi Semako Unye denied all allegations against him, stating that all actions taken by the agency were in line with the existing state laws guiding its operations.
I received a letter from another group that we cannot continue to deal with those groups, that they were being suspended. Then I went into my files. I called for the file and it was there. It was discussed at the National Assembly. They were invited at the National Assembly. And I said, you were supposed to tell me this part of the handing over.
Corroborating his position, the president of the Association of Waste Managers, Vendors and Recyclers of Ogun State, Kunle Adesoya, disclosed that individuals behind the alleged misconduct had been suspended and were attempting to re-enter the system through an unrecognized association.
Since 2023, November 28th, due to the atrocity, extortion of money from vendors, duplications of, registrations of members in the same company to about 5, 6 more than that, in which they have been practicing before his arrival, in which the current Commissioner for Environment has rejected.
Also reacting, Comrade Olubenga Awoderu, a leader in the waste management sector, dismissed claims of illegal levies, noting that all payments were duly remitted into government coffers, while commending Unyan's leadership at the authority.
The problem on ground, the people fighting, let them go and resolve. Look at the issue of the vendors. When you have, last year, I think we will have 1 or 2 papers. You can see your people coming in 2 to 3 times in a week. And we were not happy. We thought maybe there's something hidden there. But when we now heard that the man said, you pay single-handedly, don't pay to company, we were so happy. All our members, they are jubilating as I'm talking to you now.
With issues laid bare and questions openly addressed, the media party once again highlighted the importance of constructive engagement between public office holders and the press. As the Ogun NUJ sustains this platform for transparent discourse, stakeholders agree that openness and adherence to due process remain essential to effective governance and improved service delivery in Ogun State.
Meanwhile, the Ogun State Council of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, NUJ, has congratulated Honorable Kayode Akimade, Special Advisor on Information and Strategy to the Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, on the occasion of his birthday. The council describes Honorable Akimade as a seasoned media professional in strategic communication whose wealth of experience has continued to add value to governance and public communication in Ogun State. Under his leadership, government information management has been strengthened through timely, accurate, and people-focused communication, helping to bridge the gap between government policies and the citizens. The NUJ, in a release jointly signed by the Council Chairman, Comrade Wale Olanrewaju, and Secretary, Comrade Bomi Adegun, commend Honorable Akimade for his cordial relationship with journalists and his unwavering support for press freedom, professionalism, and responsible journalism across the state. The Ogun NUJ wishes Honorable Kayode Akimade good health, wisdom, and greater accomplishment in his service to Ogun State and the nation at large. The 29th Egba Day of Prayer 2026 holds on Sunday, 11th January 2026 at the Afin Ake Amphitheatre, Ake Abeokuta, beginning from 3 in the afternoon. The theme for this year's event, according to release, is Year of Divine Intervention and Rescue. Ministering is Pastor Right Honorable Oludaisi Elemide of the Gospel Apostolic Church, while the chief host is the Alake and Paramount ruler of Egbaland, Oba Dr. Michael Adedoton Gbadebo. British heavyweight boxer Anthony Joshua has paid tribute to his friends Shane Ogami and Lateef Lat Ayodele, who died in a road accident near Lagos, Nigeria. Joshua, who sustained minor injuries in the incident, has since returned to the United Kingdom after attending their funerals. In a message shared on social media, the former world champion thanked supporters for their prayers and support while reflecting on memories and the bond he shared with the deceased. Glimpses this week serves us more.
A tragic road accident near Lagos claimed the lives of British heavyweight boxing champion Anthony Joshua, who was also involved in the crash while visiting Nigeria. Emergency responders were said to have arrived swiftly at the scene, rescuing survivors and conveying them for medical attention, while the driver involved in the incident was subsequently arrested as investigations into the circumstances surrounding the crash commenced.
The case of 4-count charge has been profiled against my client. It's a case of manslaughter